Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager. It is week 17 of competition, and we're about to wrap up yet another season in the GP3 category with this Formula One Season 2017 mod that we've been playing with for a number of months now. We head into the final race of this season, showing absolute massive signs of improvement. Arthur Pick started the season in the main driver's seat and then suddenly retired. Arendt has come in and overwhelmed and taken over a number of places and even threw in a podium. Arthur Quinn has improved as well, still worst on the grid, but better than before. The car is getting competitive, the team's getting competitive, and we have actually jumped DAMS Junior to get to 9th place in the team standings going into the final race, and we are just 10 points shy of 8th, only another 5 to 7th. So we have a real chance at moving up yet a little bit further and increasing our prize output. Also of news as we head into this final race of the season, the Black Sea Grand Prix in Russia. Practice should be cloudy, but race day looks like we will see some rain. And I have found that more often than not, but not every time, certainly not every time, but more often than not, when you have a wet-dry mix in a race, I tend to take advantage of that strategy and place higher than I would normally. So there is a chance that I might pick up some additional places. Looking back at the standings one more time, our last race, let's see, Quinn picked up 6 points, which was his third best finish of the year, and all 3 of his top finishes have occurred over the last 4 races. And then, let's see, there's Arendt, who took second in the last race, but actually ended up with the most points, also adding the fast lap. Having only raced 5 times this year, Arendt has had solid races 4 out of 5. So we should look for Arendt to do well once again here in the final race, while Arthur Pick, who left the team after 3 races, never managed to score more than 6 points, though was clearly a number 1 over Quinn. At least this season anyway, on that scoring. Financially, team's in good shape, and the car, as I talked about in a previous episode, the car is looking good in the setup for next year, as we should have some much improved parts to begin the year. We are obviously still going to be in GP3 category next season, but I have much higher hopes for next season for either a midfield or even competing near the top next season after we've struggled for, I think it's 3 years now. Yeah, this is our 3rd season. We did manage 1 podium in the final race, of that first season. But that 2nd place this year was huge. Strong performance. All right, well, let's go ahead and get to it. We only have 1 sponsor offer. It's going to take a podium, but that would be quite the bonus. Like I said, we did manage 2nd place and 7th in Milan. Just that last race was a real struggle for us, but let's head to our part fitting. Let's see what, if anything, can be done here. already top on the brakes. There shouldn't be any changes here. There is an engine available that is far better than what we have, but it has very high risk. That is, as I was talking about in the previous episode, that is for next year's parts, because that would be counted as the best part. If we use it and they catch us, the part is banned. This would be counted as the best part for next year. They don't count the bonuses, they just count the base. So that 187 would be all we have. Instead, I've got a part that's 110 better in the count for next year. And the rules risk ones, that is wiped out. So we're looking at, again, these being parts for next season. Here's another one. It's only an improvement of 70, but still that's a gearbox much better than what we're running with. And you can see with the 251, with the 187s, we're getting competitive. We're not racing at the very front, but we're getting competitive. So big step. I wasn't able to do that with the suspension, but we have gotten one to a 264. Again, much better. Okay, and the car is set. So we're going to head to race day. Heavy rain for the race. We'll just see if that is throughout the entirety of the race, or whether that's going to be a mix of wet and dry. Alright, so here we are in Sochi, where they host the Olympics. They transitioned it after the Olympics were done into a beautiful racetrack. Okay, now you're actually good, but the other one wasn't, so I need to take a look at that. We're not going to be able to run on super softs with that huge difference in tire wear. So we'll run softs from the beginning. It looks like handlings is going to need to come over to the left a bit more. You figure both of them are going to be relatively close to each other on their necessary setup. So let's see. Let's bring this over. So 69% is where we're going to start. We're also going to put the softs on. So we're going to get you adjusted as well. Okay, now comparing the setups. Figure the downforce right from here. It's probably going to be close or in this range. The handling is definitely going to be in that pretty small window here, right? If it can't go much further that way. And speed balance looks like it could move towards top speed. Alright, we're going to get the cars out on the track. It's too short of a time to get much out of bonuses, so this is all about getting the setup right. So once the cars get out on the track, I'm actually going to have them pegged to come right back in, even though they're not going to run a hot lap. I'm not worried about what their times are. I'm worried about their setup. That setup makes a huge difference on the actual race day. There's no qualifying here in this GP3 category. It's reverse order of standings. That's one of the only downsides, as Errant, after that second place finish, the 21 points that she picked up is going to move her back a bit on the starting grid, which is fine with me. I'll take the points. But it will affect the start in this race, backing her up just a little bit. So can't expect total fireworks, but we'll take what we can get. Excellent handling already, so great job moving that over. Remember, this is the one that we did adjust beforehand, and we adjusted it perfectly. Speed balance is good. but certainly could be better. The downforce is going to need some work, and if I remember from the other setup, it was going to be towards more downforce. So we're going to push this that way, and we want to get that handling on, but we'll see what happens. That keeps the handling right about where it was, and I figured top speed might push towards speed balance might push towards top speed a little bit. So we'll see if those two minor adjustments do the trick. And here for Quinn, not quite as strong of a setup on that first go, but we have good, good, and okay. Again, we're likely to move to the left. Here it looks like we need to move even further, and that speed balance definitely needs some work. There we go. Good, good, okay. Pretty good margin of change. And we'll get back out on the track. Once those adjustments have been made, we'll set them to come right back in again. I don't need a hot lap until I've got the setup down. Okay, we're going to run them around, and they're heading back in. Alright, we are very close on errant setup. The handling and the speed are excellent, and we just need to get a little more on the downforce to get that up. So we want to bring the downforce over just a hair more. That's not affecting the setup here, so now we are close enough at this point that I'm going to go ahead and run a hot lap for Errant. And we're not quite there for Quinn, but we made huge progress from where we were. In fact, they're both seen at 96%, though the speed balance and the downforce aren't quite right for Quinn. So we'll adjust over just that little bit more. And boy, tweaking that speed balance is going to be difficult. You know what, let's just go with the downforce. So they're both going to get a hot lap in this time. And that begins now. And that's the end of the hot lap. What are we at now? Still down near the bottom. Quinn's actually higher than Errant, so we might have moved Errant the wrong way, or that was just a bad lap for Errant. We'll bring Errant in. Might leave Quinn out there for one more go to try to pick up some bonus. We just got level 1. It's been hard. I've been very hard pressed to get to level 2 on anything here. So we'll leave Quinn out there and see, maybe, just maybe. But Errant, looks like we might need a little bit more adjustment, as Errant is a bit behind Quinn. We're still set to great. Did it go up? It did go up, so we needed to continue pushing a little more left. And that was only 1%, so let's give it 0.3 of a degree. And then we'll head back out to wrap up the session. Quinn will default to come in now. Just finished that second lap. Their times aren't going to be great, really, because those tires are already pretty wasted, and we're not pushing it. Okay, Quinn actually dropped to 95% there, so we wanted to go back to where we were, and then some. That does make a small adjustment to the speed balance. That could help us. And again, keeping those same tires on. That's not a lot of laps, and that tire wear is pretty heavy already. Quinn should get one more lap. Make sure, yeah, we got just in time. Yeah, look at that, 30, 31%. They're both quite low on their tire wear already. Aaron never picked up the time. Oh, Quinn just picked up some time on that last lap. All it took was pushing it a little bit, even with totally worn and just soft tires on. So you can see there is some speed in that car, even though we didn't necessarily pull much out in practice. But again, those were worn soft tires. Alright, so we're ready to head to race day. Not worried about the sponsor objective. Just gonna see if I can grab whatever points we can get on the day. See if we can't maybe slide up one position in the standings. Ooh, okay, we are gonna have a wet-dry mix. We're gonna start the race dry, but it looks like it's going to be around lap 7 or 8 or 6. 6 or 7, maybe 8, where we would need to change to the intermediates, which means if I were to put on super softs, we're not going to make it. Do I want the tire change bonus? We did make it to level 2. I don't know how long we're going to be able to be on softs, though. It might just be this one. We'll take 50% bonus. That's a few seconds. And we'll take the race trim. And then full wets wear slowly. I'm not going to do fixes. Definitely going to do the race trim. It says we're going to get heavy rain, so we'll set wet tires, wear more slowly. Even though it's only a level 1 bonus. We're not going to be in the soft tires that long. Alright, so we made it to 99%. Excellent, excellent, excellent for Aaron. That's impressive. That's good. We're going to start on the softs, not the super softs. We will take the full load of fuel. Now here, because we dropped to good, I actually could make an adjustment. It was great, just a little bit to the left, which means that's the direction it needs to go, is back to the left. So we want to set those gear ratios back a little bit. This is staying the same, and that should boost you up a little bit more. And then we're going to go with the softs. Yes. Alright, and then the strategy. We do want a strong start, but at the same time, I don't want to overdo it. Though we can certainly burn a little bit of fuel early on. Especially when we'll have enough. So we'll go to overtake mode on the engines, but I don't want to push the tires too hard because I need to make sure they actually do get to the necessary point before we change and put on intermediates. And we might go straight to wets, depending on how quickly. I mean, that's heavy rain by the second tick there, which means that's going to change pretty rapidly. So we might go straight to wets and not intermediates. So Alex Quinn still last on the grid, gets the start ahead, and Aaron will be starting 6th. Alright, here we go. Race is underway. Aaron, great start. Up to 5th. Wish Aaron would have continued all around the outside, though, because easily could have moved up to 4th there. past Ericsson, but did check up. Quinn is in the lead here as well. It looked like Quinn had dropped to second, but Quinn was able to recover and get back ahead. Errant, however, looks to be dropping back into her starting place. There's a double pass there that puts her up to 5th. Alright, looking at the tires, I do not need to back off just yet. So I can keep this competitive run going. Whoa! Ooh. Little ERS to make a pass on us there. And, whoa, there's another one. Eric drops a couple places as a bunch of cars use the ERS there. There's a clear place on this track, though, to use the ERS, and that's definitely the front stretch. Errant is sliding backwards, so is Quinn. Quinn is running 5th right now, but here is that spot to go hot. And Errant does get 2 passes on that stretch. Good job. Meanwhile, Quinn has picked up some more ERS and is still holding on to 5th place as of right now. Errant trying to make another pass around the outside. Looks like it's going to turn into losing a position instead of gaining. Oh, losing 2 positions and then 3 wide. Whoa. We got ourselves a race, don't we? Aggressive move from Errant there after getting a double pass and losing 2 positions. Errant. I didn't have enough there. That was only 1 lap worth. Should save that. Quinn did gain 1 position using the ERS there, getting back to 4th, though Calderon went right back around him. But still a good start for Quinn, as Quinn would normally be back in the field. And here comes the rain on just lap 4, well before it was predicted. So here's what we need to do. We need to attack now, because we're not going to be on these tires a whole lot longer. And yes, we are going to be skipping straight to the wets, as it's not going to take long for them to become necessary. 2 cars already pitting in, Ericsson and Lorandi. And I'm assuming they're going to come out on intermediates, changing this early. Yep, they both put on intermediates. So they're going to lose a lot of time, but how much are they going to be able to gain back? It's questionable. I might want to get 1 car in this lap. Yeah, we're still only just damp. Yeah. You're calling for inters. I don't know. What's the gap between you? Only a few seconds right now. Let's look ahead to where Quinn is and see who's pitting. Who's pitting? Nobody. 1 car pit. 2 cars pit from the back of the grid. Alright, now I need to get one of them in this time, for sure. Though we're still only damp. The rain hasn't picked up that much yet. But looking at the tire wear, let's bring Quinn in this time. And do we want to go to inters? It's going to be a handful of laps. We're going to try inters and then run hard. And fill up the tank. Conditions good. And then we're going to try to leave Errant on a bit longer, which means we need to back off and save that. Errant is now running 13th. Those back cars are dropping way behind, so. Okay, Quinn is in. So far, so good on the stop. Inters are now on the car. Refueling done. Back out in 15th. Will they hang on to 16th? Just, yes. Quinn hung on to 15th place there. So second car on the grid of those who have pit so far. Now, we don't want to push too hard here. We gotta make those last a while. Alright, now we are 2 wets. How long is it gonna take to get... I think Aaron's gonna come on and put the wets on. Yeah, look at the 4 cars just came out on wets. So Quinn's gonna gain some time here for a little bit and is gonna need to do something with that. We're gonna put on the wets. Okay, Aaron heads into the pits from 11th place. Refueling done. And Quinn is up to 3rd. Aaron is 13th. Now we immediately want to back off there a little bit. And on the engine mode, we're going to settle in on those wets for quite a while here. It's definitely going to be wet enough, if not now, in the near future. Checking in on Quinn. When we hit that front stretch, we're going to use that ERS and see if we can't get that position back. And there you go. At least pick up some ground. Solid 4th place. Pretty good gap back to 5th. Though Arendt is caught in that pack that separates 5th to 14th. Only 2 cars on intermediates now, so Quinn is going to have to come in here really soon. So let's run as hard as we can, maybe even this lap. We're going to have to keep an eye on the time. Ericsson is pitting, which would make us the last car on the grid if we don't pit now. So let's go ahead and bring it in. It's time for the wets. I was hoping to get at least one more lap out of them, but you can see the track is already soaked. Okay, just 10 seconds on the stop, but more importantly, it's the trip down pit road. Aaron's got 60% on the ERS, so this is a good time to use that. And overtake. Come on, grab that position. No. Definitely closed the gap there, but couldn't make the pass. Okay, we'll keep a little bit of pressure on. Meanwhile, Quinn is now last place on the grid after that, but is going to have tires that are quite a bit fresher than some other cars. Might be able to regain some of that, but the strategy didn't work out terribly well for Quinn there. The track's going to start drying out, it looks like. But not for a while yet, so this needs to be a longer stint if we can make it. So we need to go into fuel saving mode for both of them. Quinn might really gain back some ground here. Yeah, the sun's coming out. It's going to warm up pretty rapidly too. It's only 42 degrees right now. Not far above freezing. Aaron gets past there, but that was ERS move. And after Quinn comes around that corner, I might use ERS to try to pick up some ground there. Try to gain a little something on that gap. Both cars running quite a bit lower than I would like them to be at this point in the field, so our strategy has not paid off. But we could really gain something here if the other cars pit a bit earlier. You look at our tire wear, Arendt is well ahead of most every other car around. And then Quinn, of course, is very far ahead. Ericsson and Quinn are the only ones that pit there a lot later after first putting on inters. Ooh, Arendt almost gets past there. Does hang on to the position though. Alright, speed things up for a little bit. Tires are still good. Let's push, get away from them. And push. You got to catch up there, Quinn. Your pace is better than the cars ahead of you. You still have quite a few seconds between you and everyone else. Alright, how are we looking on that rain? It's still going to be a while. Are we going to make it? I got 5 laps of fuel. We don't want those tires to get too cold, so Aaron's going to push for a little while. Whoa, that ERS, they just flew by. No one's pit yet. So are they all trying to hang on and wait for the rain to end? If we do get forced into pitting, I might go with inters even if it's still raining, because we're only a lap or 2 away on that. What can we do here? We're only running 14th and 20th. Not a strong performance today. I think Quinn might make it. But here comes Arendt. The first car's pit in. Dennis. What are they going to come out looking like? They stayed on wets. There you go. They are going to have to pit again. Arendt, I'm going to try to keep Arendt out a little bit longer. It has stopped raining. It has stopped raining. And there's only 26 seconds from first where Arendt is on the grid right now. Quinn's a bit further back at 43, but Quinn's going to have no problem making it. Arendt, however, it's a concern. I should have brought Arendt in that lap. However, if the track is drying out this lap, we can put on inters. Yeah, see, the first couple cars are coming off on inters now. It's going to take a while for the track to dry out, so Arendt's going to come in. Almost make it on that fuel, but we're not going to make it to the end anyway, because we will, as the track dries out, we're going to need softs again to get to the end. Wait, what? Did I change tires? Let me double check that. Okay, Arendt's going to step up the pace a little bit. Quinn, meanwhile, is going to hang on a little bit longer. Wow, the track is still soaked. We're going to get at least one more lap there. Okay, so far so good on the pit stop. Refueling is done. Arendt's going to head back out. Sliding down the grid, though. What happened there? Okay, now looking at this, we're just about to drop out of soaked, so we'll be in perfect position on those inters. How long is it going to take the track to dry out? Oh, 5 laps. So we only need to get about 5 laps out of these. If I can get you to hold on 2 more laps. If I can go 2 more laps for Quinn, I think I can skip inters and go straight to softs and try to get to the end. I don't know if I'm going to make that. I don't think we have the tire wear for that. We don't. We don't have the tire wear for that. And I don't have the fuel for that. So Quinn's going to pit this lap. We are going to put on inters. Okay, how's the ERS looking? They're both in the 50s. Oh, did I just see smoke? No. Slips back a couple more positions, now 18th. Quinn is up to 7th, but that's because of the pit stop exchange. But, however, Quinn actually had just as many stops as everybody else at that point. This is now the extra stop. Oh, mistake on the front right. Took a ton of time. 3.5 seconds extra. Bad stop. There was nothing aggressive about that stop either. That really cost us. Alright, Quinn's going to race all out. Errant, how long do we have to go? Just 1 or 2 laps, so give it your all for now. And then we're going to use ERS this time. Here's Dennis just sliding back in those wets. There we go, Errant taking off. Nice. Okay, we're going to save some of that ERS too. Didn't use it all. Should be able to get ahead of Dennis here. .19th. At least not last. Errant's running 14th. And gaining some ground. Look at that. Now it's down to damp. See, we could have. We could have. I think we could have gotten away with putting on softs. Not worried about the tires overheating because we will very nearly pit in for softs. I don't think we're really capable of running the super softs. Okay, gotta keep an eye out for when people start coming in. The track is down to damp, but it has more to do with how many laps are left than anything. I should probably get one of them in this lap, and I really think it's got to be Errant. We're going to bring Errant in. We're going to put on the softs to get us to the end of the race. And let's look at how many laps are left. That's enough to get to the end. That's enough to have a little bit extra to run the engine a little higher. 7 seconds. The track is just damp, so now we gotta watch Quinn. No, Quinn's gonna run one more lap for sure because these tires are still fresh. Another mistake, the front jack this time. We have already added a couple seconds to the pit stop. It was supposed to be a 7-second stop. Okay, Errant and Dennis, actually. Dennis came out on the super softs and they're screwed. They pit way too early for that. No, we don't want to totally burn those tires yet, nor do we want the fuel to be burning that hard. Alright, so Errant is 19th on the grid, just behind Quinn, and we'll see what kind of time they're making. I want to get you in. Hold on. Let's pause. 51%. Do I want to go one more lap? Nobody else has pit yet. What you got, Quinn? Okay, well, Quinn's definitely going to pit this lap now. And I just don't think you're going to get even 6 laps out of him. You only need 5. Then you can't run hard. There's not much that difference. You run the softs, run hard. You already have enough fuel. How much time is... Oh, wow, that's going to add 4 seconds. Okay. You're good to go on fuel to the end. Alright. First few cars are coming in now. Arent is still losing just a little bit of time. But it's leveled off the losses. I think it's going to start coming down here any moment. Alright, let's go check in with Arent now, who is our hope. Arent's running just 18th, and Quinn is now last on the grid as we push final 5 laps of the race. Still losing time to those intermediates, really? The track's almost dry. I don't see how we're losing time unless we're just slow. When our pace is better than third, it's just apparently Haverberg's having a heck of a run. And Delatraz, who's only less than a second behind him. Because we still are losing time. Arent is up to 17th now. Fresh tires for Calderon. When we get back around, we're going to use that ERS. Everybody's pitting now. This is our time, so don't get caught up with Calderon. Stay beside. No. Past her. Get past her. There you go. Arent does get out ahead of those cars. 12th place on the grid. And here comes Quinn also around. Quinn picks up only 1 position. Quinn had been lapped. Yikes. We're that slow? Alright, so Arent is 12th now. 3 laps remaining. Sliding back to 13th. Looks like we're not going to get a top 10 today, as everybody has pit now, and Arent is quite a bit lower on tire wear than the others. Arent does get inside and completes the pass, even though I cut off the ERS early. Had just enough speed to carry over, but De Vries does get back around Arent just a couple turns later. It's definitely a faster car, so is Aquino. Arent faces the risk of losing 1 more position to Calderon, but should be able to hang on to that one. Did use up a little ERS again. Final 2 laps. Quinn gains another place as Dennis, who pit early, had to come in 1 more time. But Ericsson is breathing down Quinn's neck. And meanwhile here, Arent does end up getting passed by Calderon as these tires are worn out. We need to get to the end here. 1 lap to go. Quinn now all alone. No, not all alone. Ericsson, very, very close. Side by side, Quinn is being passed there by Ericsson. They're on super softs. Dang it, 15th and 19th. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Alright, now give it your all. Give it your all. Oh, don't run out. Don't run out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Quinn's going to run out of fuel. Aaron finishes 15th. Will Quinn make it to the finish line? Have enough fuel to get there? Yes. Yes, Quinn does. Just gets 19th place. So 15th and 19th, final race of the season. Not the result we were hoping for. The rain did not do us any favors today. And we slide back through the grid. But we're not last, so we'll take that. I don't think that that's going to be enough to move us up any places, but let's see if we hang on to 9th place in the team competition for this season. All right. Oof, 4 places. That's a lot. Fastest lap goes to Kino all the way back in 11th. We pick up 16 points on the day. Final standings for the championship this year. Quinn stays in 20th. And Arendt gets 16th. Drops 1 position. When you combine our first car, we had 84 points, which would have been good for equal on 13th in the grid over the entire season. Oh, and we dropped to 10th place, 2 points short of DAMS Junior. Rough finish to the season. However, that'll make the pressure light going into next season. We were expected to finish 10th this year, and that is where we did finish. But you can see how much closer we are this year than the last 2. Well, we did survive the year. We didn't get fired. That was a potential risk, especially first year. We almost went to bankruptcy. Second year, we could not perform as required by our boss, our chairman. And this year, we finished where we should have. But there's a lot of positives going into next season, as we were so much closer than we had been in the past. All right, well, that does it for this episode and this season. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Looks like Russell won the championship and the final race of the season in Doha. Bottas, his teammate, finished second. Yes, Lewis Hamilton was relegated to third driver on the Mercedes team after winning the championship, but Russell proved his mettle by winning the championship this year. All right, bye for now.